So, my parents divorced when I was like 2 years old. So I kind of lived in between two homes. I was with my mom mostly, but then I was with my dad on the weekends and stuff like that. And when I was growing up, at the age of 16, I decided that I didn't want to live with my dad, so I'm living currently with my mom. He's an architect, and my mom's she's a nurse, but not like the kind of nurse you have here, because the medical hospitals and stuff, it's kind of different the way it works here, not the way it works in Spain. But she's working at a hospital currently, and she's assisting nurses basically and doctors. And yeah, that's my family. I don't have any kind of brothers, sisters. I have cousins, but we don't see each other much because they are older than me and they have already their lives figured out. And we don't do these kind of things that the whole family get together and we sit down. We are more separate. Everyone goes their own way. So yeah, that's my family.
Thank you. So, I guess can you tell me more about the importance of your mom in your life and how it was like growing up with her?
My mom has been like the most amazing person. She's been really supportive with me. She's been there all the way. The From the moment I said I wanted to study French to the moment I changed my mind 7 years later and I was like, I want to study English now, to the moment I said I don't want to have a career that might be as good as education, and I said I want to do advertising, even if it's not going to be like as stable as finding a job in a school or something like that. And she's been like a huge like support for me along the way I've been living these years, and not just like supporting me on the stuff I wanted to do, but also supporting me emotionally, because growing up with divorced parents and stuff, sometimes it comes to a point that it's kind of hard, because you if you want it or not, you are living in two different environments with two different set of minds. And my dad was more free about some things and then change it back to my mom, which she was like, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, and stuff like that. It was kind of difficult for me as a child growing up. And she was there supporting me all the way, and she was like, no, you need to learn this, you need to learn this. And she was emotionally supporting me when I was kind of struggling because I didn't find my place, or I was having problems with my dad. And she has been like a superhero to me.
She sounds really great.
She's great.
Thank you. So, what do you miss most? Obviously, you're hearing away from her. What do you miss most about her?
So it's kind of like ironic because I love my mom and I know she's been a huge support for me, but I don't miss my family as much as I thought I would, which is kind of funny. But I actually miss the food. it's it's weird, but I miss the food and I really miss my friends. And of course, I miss my mom, but the first things I started to notice were like, wow, I don't have my friends. Like, I know I can text them, but it's like I'm not going to see them every day because I see them every day when I go to college back in Spain. But here is like, I'm waking up, I'm going to class, and nobody's there. Like, I don't know anybody. And like, my friends, as my mom, they have been really good people in my life that have supported me. And it's just the people I miss the most. It's, I think if I put it in an order, things I miss the most and people I miss the most: first, food, second, friends and family.
So, tell me more about food. Why do you miss the food?
We have this thing called jamón serrano, which is like the best thing you've ever tried. Like you can actually cry eating it. It's so good. And I really miss like food here is not as healthy as I expected it to be. For example, when you cook something here, you usually put butter in it. But everything we cook, it's with extra virgin olive oil, okay? And it's something that I always took for granted. And when I came here and I made my toast first day, and the only things I saw were butter and cream cheese and stuff like that. And I'm like, where's the oil? I need olive oil in my life to have breakfast. Like it's really basic things, but some of them are things I miss. Like for example, going out with my friends, we go and have like these appetizers we don't actually eat. We go just for appetizers and we call it tapas. And we have food that is especially made for that. And you go with your friends, you have a beer. By the way, I'm legal age drinking in Spain, so we have a beer and we eat something and we just talk. And it's just like not just the food, but the feeling that comes with the food too.
What do you mean the feeling that comes with the food?
So when you eat, you share experiences with the people you're eating. And when you have, for example, let's say you sit down and it's like more serious conversation, you usually have like, we call it spoon food, which is food you usually eat with a spoon. But we call it spoon food, and it's more sitting down with your family and talking seriously or just joking around, or also can be like winter related because we usually don't eat spoon food with summer because usually that kind of food is hot. And for example, as I said before, going with tapas, eating tapas with your friends is just, I'm having fun. And you, it's something that when you are eating, you enjoy the food and you also enjoy the company and the moments that you're living with your friends. So that's what I mean with the emotion that comes with the food.
So, do you think that there's like that kind of, have you found that same kind of feeling here in America when you go out to eat with people?
I haven't, but I think it's because I'm really like looking at the food. For example, when we go out and we go to a Mexican restaurant, it's really different from the Mexican I tried in Spain or stuff like that. So I'm like looking at the food and being like, this is different. This is not what I'm used to. So that's the feeling I get. But when I get, for example, I had first experiences with food here, and I take that as a feeling. For example, I tried for the first time ever sushi here, like real good sushi, and Chinese food here. So, like, I don't know, the takeout of the Chinese and waiting and having the Chinese in the room with my friend and just laughing, that's a good feeling I take, but it's not with American food, but rather other types of food, international food that are here in America.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you. So, moving on to the next question. Could you like walk me through like an average day in Spain where you live while you were attending college or something?
So an average day for me is I wake up at I think 7 a.m. and I like do everything you need to do to get ready for college, and I grab just a notebook. I have like these kind of notebooks that have different parts, so it's just like 5 parts or something like that. I take my car and I drive to college, which is not like a long drive, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And I arrive there, I go walk into class because I live in a really, it's a large college. And we have like 2 different campus, one in the city, one outside. I go to the one that it's outside, is the larger one. and I go walk into class, and classes are way bigger. And so we usually take a spot, my friends and I, and we have like maybe 10 seats for us. And we sit down there, I greet my friends before class, and I just sit there from, I think it's like 8:30 in the morning to like 2 in the afternoon. We don't have, like, we have maybe 15-minute break, and if the teachers want to give more break, but we have 2 3 hours classes, so it's 6 hours of classes in the morning, and then you're done. So I got out of class at 2 p.m. I take my car, go to my house, eat there, greet my mom. She usually comes from work at that hour, so we eat together. And then I usually don't study. I study on the weekends usually because it's really different. Professors don't give us much assignments, so you just have to study, study, study. And assignments you usually do them in class. You have days especially dedicated for assignments. So I just sit there, maybe read a little bit if I have to, spend my time on the computer, or either playing paddle. I live in an apartment complex, and we have like a paddle court, so I'm either playing paddle, reading, listening to music, drawing. I spend my free time on the best ways I can. If I'm like really, I don't know what to do, I go out and walk because I live near the mountains, so I can just go out there and breathe fresh air. And then I go back to my house and I have dinner, and usually we sleep really late. Like, for us, normal time of having dinner might be maybe 9 p.m., maybe 10 p.m. So really late, you stay with your family, talk for a little bit, and then I go back to bed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. So one last question in this category. What do you like best about living in Spain?
One thing I realize about that I like about living in Spain is having a driver's license. It's really weird, but I really miss like taking my car, going anywhere I can go. Like, Spain is not that big, so I can take my car, and I live on the south, but I can take my car and go to Madrid in like 4 hours driving my car, or go to the beach, not just in my region, but in any other region. Or like, I want to go to a theme park, and there's like a theme park near my house that it's like 2 hour drive. So having everything close to you, even if I know it's a big country, not compared to America, but for me it's a big country, and like being able to take your car and go whenever you want in like 4 hours, at least to Madrid. Like, if you want to go north, it's going to take you more, but like, I'm not really interested in going more than Madrid, so it's just like having everything close, I guess.
And like having the independence to travel.
Oh yeah, like here I feel like, I don't know, as my experience in Bridgewater, I felt like things in America are more scattered, and then everything is in the city. But where I live, like, I live in a city, but before I lived in the city, I lived in a small village.